Welcome to Inside the Passion of the Professional, the podcast that goes beyond the job. We uncover real stories behind success, exploring the motivations, challenges, and what drives inspiring individuals from a variety of career fields. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you will be alerted when new episodes are available. Now here's your host, Ron Dillard. This podcast is sponsored by Watts Haven Consulting. This is Antoine Scott, and I'm on Inside the Passion of the Professional. Boy, I'm going to tell you what, if you don't tune in to this episode, me and Ron going to find you at your job, at the picnic, at the wedding reception, at the barbershop. We going to find you, and we going to sit there, and we going to look at you. You don't want to miss this. So you tune in to Inside the Passion of the Professional, and don't forget to check out my new special, Antoine Scott, same thing I said, on Fawesome TV. And guess what, y'all? It's for free. All you got to do is download and tune in. That's all you got to do. Tonight's guest has been doing comedy for over 20 years. He's opened up for some of the best comedians in the world, such as D.L. Hughley, Monique, Kevin Hart, Earthquake, Tony Rock, Bill Bellamy, and Tracy Morgan, just to name a few. His TV appearances include Showtime at the Apollo and Bill Bellamy's Who's Got Jokes on TV1, for which he won Season 5. His appearances in films include Evan Almighty and the award-winning independent drama Unbrotherly Love. He is a veteran of the U.S. Marine Corps and the founder of A.L.S. Entertainment. He has become an internet sensation through his hilarious videos, LOOKATCHA. His hard work, love of the art, and dedication to his craft has allowed him to transition into a mainstream headliner who is consistently on the road. But no matter how busy he is, he still finds time to mentor up-and-coming comedians. His highly anticipated debut comedy special, Antoine Scott, Same Thing I Said, is now streaming on Fawesome TV. Inside the Passion of the Professional is proud to welcome Antoine Scott.
Yay! You said that so eloquently. You did, man. The way you spoke those words, you spoke them with passion. That came from the inside.
Absolutely.
And you were so professional.
Now, I want you to realize two things I want to say to you first. First, you are the reason this whole thing happened. Let me tell you why. When you first talked about your special, I wanted to recognize and want to do something to promote it. And that's when I just back in September, I said, hey, would you mind doing an interview with it? You said yes. Then I said, okay. He said yes. What am I going to do now? So, and as you know, it was a hop, skip, and a jump before I said, it's time to schedule it. Right. Because originally I wanted you to be the first one. And I wanted to celebrate that. And it started this journey of the podcast because I had unless we're talking about movies, I wasn't doing a podcast. But I also wanted to celebrate people like yourself because, again, the success that you've had and your consistency and your diligence and then the character that you have. We're going to talk about it in a second because when we're shooting Unbrotherly Love, which wasn't an easy shoot, and I thank you for doing the film, I realized something. The call time was 5 a.m., which means you had to get up about 3:30, 4 o'clock, right?
Right.
A lot of people would have looked at that alarm and went back to sleep. And then you could have woke up 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, and just ignored, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But you chose to show up even though it was a difficult shoot. Then you generously called to ensure we had everything that we needed. Mm-hmm. And that film, so a little bit more regarding that film, that's about my older brother and the relationship that we don't have or some of the things that he did. Because when I hear siblings, I want them to come together. And the biggest compliment from doing that film was a guy called me one day and he said, Ron, I haven't talked to my sister in 13 years. Because of that film, I'm going to give her a call. Mm. And that's about as best that we can really do. So I want to thank you so much for your diligence in that.
Sure. Mm-hmm. Appreciate it.
Also want to recognize how kind you've been to other comedians. I remember you used to do a free comedy show at Glenn's. And yes, and people that wanted a shot, you would give them a shot. See what they have. And I even hear about comedians up and coming now who you still mentor and you're still giving them advice. So on behalf of all of those and your generosity and just for being a stand-up guy, I thank you. So
cool, brother. I certainly appreciate that. Appreciate with a P. Didn't start with an A. Started with a P. Appreciate.
So now I do feel like there is validity to start from the beginning. And we're going to move around a little bit, but where were you born?
Come on, man. Cap City, baby. Richmond, Virginia.
All right. Now, listen to this. As a child, my favorite thing to do was make people laugh throughout the house. The big mirror in my parents' bedroom was my first stage, where I celebrated mini-star performances for an imaginary audience. How long did it take you from going to say I want to make people laugh to understanding I'm a comedian and this is what I want to do?
Well, that journey that took a little longer than the average. You know, some individuals start doing comedy in their early years, like 18, 19, 20 years old, some 16, when they couldn't even go into the comedy clubs. I think like Ari Spears was really young when he started.
Yes.
And I think his mom had to actually take him to the club because he was too young to get in. So I didn't take that route. My route didn't start till later on. I didn't start my comedy till after I was 30.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it's just that you like seeing, because it never, whenever I can make someone laugh where they start to cough or choke or they spit something, it never gets any better than that. Just that feeling of that. Was it, did you continue to have that feeling to want to make people laugh even before you said, okay, comedian, this is where I'm going to go to? Or there a point that it paused?
No, I just always get a joy just making people laugh or just being silly around everybody and just making everybody just enjoy themselves and just having a good time. So just making, you know, when you was in school, just making everybody laugh. Just so much making people laugh and just have fun. Everybody doesn't have that. Some folks are more reserved and don't want to be put in a light like that. But for me, I just enjoy doing it.
Ever have any bout with nervousness? Do you still get nervous right now, or is it something that you do where it's the point where you're so excited to get out there and do your thing that...
Yeah, it's kind of now is a thing of, I really don't, you know, I still get kind of nervous. It's always still good to still get nervous because it's still saying you're taking it seriously.
Absolutely.
And not saying, oh, I'm going to go ahead and blah, 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 because comedy can switch up on you like a crossover in a heartbeat because, you know, every crowd is different. In every state, every city, every place you go is just different. So I don't get as nervous because you can, like a boxer, you can kind of adjust to know what you have to do once you get out there.
Yes.
You can kind of get a feel for the crowd. Oh, they laid back. Oh, they energetic. Oh, they off the chain. I can go here and say I sneeze today and they're going to just start laughing. In other shows, you just, I got to work. So you just kind of know how to deal with the crowd once you get out on stage.
Now, you and I had known each other for a long time, but I was still fascinated because of certain things I don't know about you that I've constantly wondered. And we were working on a project and couldn't sit here and say, you know, I had a question about this. So I'm happy to have this time. Now, thank you so much for your service, but what was the tale of how you got to join the Marines?
That was just on a hum. That was on a hum.
Really?
I always kept a job. So I was off work this day after school, and a couple of buddies of mine, Corey and Pedro, were going to see the recruiter, and I was going to the bus. And it was like, no, Tony, my nickname Tony, come on, man, let's go talk to the recruiter. We just, what? I'm like, what? Talk to him for what? I don't talk to. That was the furthest thing from my mind.
Okay. Joining
the military, and I looked over, and Sergeant Anderson is his name, A-Dog, had dress blues on. You know, if you've seen the Marine Corps dress blues, that's one of the best looking uniforms. No knock to any service.
No diss. Not to anybody.
But everybody know those dress blue uniforms with the Marine Corps. They stand out, stand alone. You know, he had the dress jacket with the white belt, the white gloves, the white hat. And I was like, man, look kind of sharp, you know? So I was like, man, come on, let's go to the. I was like, all right. So I just went up there, and he started, doing his recruiter speech.
Yes.
Start pulling you in with the reel, you know, and that's where it initially started. So it wasn't a thing of mine like, oh, yeah, when I grew up and wanted in the Marine Corps, I'm going to be a Marine. So that wasn't it. It was just on a hum that day.
Now, I've seen you perform several times, but we're going to get to this in a little bit. But, your comedy special, you talk more about your personal life, like joining the Marine Corps, than you ever had before. So I just wanted to just kind of just give you a little preview. If you have not seen Antoine Scott say anything I said and you want to know more about him, you get some insight, in this special. So we just want to keep that. So we'll keep going, but we'll get into a little bit more of that in a little bit. One thing I want to know is that what continues to drive you?
When you wake up in the morning, you get one more day to be great.
Okay.
You got to realize somebody didn't wake up today.
Okay.
Once you really start to understand, and the older you get in life, and you watch the news, and somebody's passing, or somebody's ill, and somebody's sick, and if you're able to wake up and you're feeling good, and you thank you, Jesus, it's just one more day to make something of it. You just go out there and just be thankful for another day.
Absolutely. Now.
You all right? You good?
No, I'm good. No,
Meow.
No. So, what is it about comedy that keeps you getting on that stage? Is it the fact that you're very good at it, making people laugh? Is it all encompassing, or is it just the love of the art?
It's the love of the art. It's once going back to the question you asked before. It's just making people laugh.
Okay.
You never know what a person goes through for the day.
Definitely.
And I always mention that on stage. You never know what a person's going through for the day, and they can see me and make them laugh and go home after it's all over and be like, "Whoa, I needed that." Or all right, I'm all right now. Versus going home and then going into a depression or something worse. So to go out there and just give them that, the gift of laughter. So.
Absolutely. Now, how did you find yourself working at the sheriff's office and then eventually Department of Juvenile?
Well, that came from the Marine Corps. Marine Corps is to me, basically, is nothing but a college.
Okay.
You're going in the Marine Corps or any military branch of service, and you're learning a trade or a skill. Whether you're an MP, that's a police officer. You're a motor T, you involved with trucks and working on trucks. You can come out and be a truck driver.
Okay.
You got guys who fly airplanes and helicopters and all this. The same skills and abilities you learn in the military is just transition into the civilian world.
Okay.
So me being an 0311 infantry, hoorah. Infantry, it kind of translates into like law enforcement, corrections type of ordeal, security work, stuff like that. So it's kind of almost the same realm. So, and that ventured me into working at a place called Beaumont Juvenile Correctional.
Okay.
Back then, I think it's adults now.
Yes.
But back then it was juveniles, and I was there when it was like Cottage Road was the only thing that we had, and I was there when they started building the lock side, which it is. I don't know it's out there now, but that was just a job within itself. I worked in the when you come out the Marine Corps, we had at that time it was 7 or 9 juvenile correctional places in the state of Virginia.
Okay.
Right. You had like Culpeper and Bonaire and Oak Ridge and some up the road, down the road, but you had 7 or 9, and Beaumont was the worst of the worst. That's where they sent all of the juvenile, like hard to deal with juveniles to Beaumont. And it was one cottage, Unit 14, which was Beatty Cottage. All the worst of the worst. They had to use that phrase worst, but really the difficult kids.
Understood.
Hey, we got to be politically correct these days. I said that they are, yeah.
They're difficult.
Came to Beaumont, and they went in the worst of the ones came to Beatty Cottage. Like all of the true was in this cottage. So I already knew where I was going.
All right.
Right?
Okay.
I didn't know yet, but I knew. So it was like 5 of us that went through the training, blah, blah, blah. A couple of guys went to Bain Cottage, was Unit 12, and a couple of went to the Spradlin or, the kind of easier units. Scott, 14, Beatty Cottage. I knew it.
Okay.
So here I am, this cottage, and back then it wasn't no, I wouldn't say cells or rooms. No, we just had kids in a basement pretty much, with a TV in the corner, and 2 staff working. You only supposed to have maybe 20 something kids.
Okay.
Maybe 30 something kids. We had like 40 something, sometimes 50.
Wow.
And then you got them all got their own little group, because you might have Norfolk over here in this part of the basement. You might got just some part of 757. Then of course you got Richmond over here. Then you might got Northern Virginia over here. Then everybody in front of the staff desk was everybody that was just scared to death.
Okay.
Them the ones, they weren't affiliated with nobody, but they would stand up under us because,
Yeah, they're on your own. Yeah.
Yeah, you're on your own. So then I was looking all young in the face. I maybe like 22, 23. And that was just an ordeal within itself. Tussling and bustling with, and the rules was different.
Okay.
I'm gonna leave it at that. The rules was different back in the day. You could.
Now, listen.
Bloom.
There will be order.
Yeah.
Order will be maintained. Now, this is an off-the-cuff question. You've been on record of your love for Richmond, Virginia, but being the fact that you were in the Marines, if you could have gotten stationed anywhere in the world, you could have chose it. Where would you have wanted to go?
Probably either Okinawa or somewhere on the West Coast.
Okay.
Or in the Philippines.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, listen. What do you think has been the most significant contributor to your success? Do you think it's been relationships, quality of jokes, moving stuff around, or all encompassing?
Oh man, the grind.
Okay.
The grind. You gotta love this game. The late great David Arnold, his last comedy special was said. I think it's not for the weak. It's not, this comedy grind is not for the weak. Especially when you were here before the social media boom hit, where I used to drive to New York and drive back, the same night for 5 minutes on the mic or 10 minutes on the mic.
Wow. And
come right back to going to DC and start to expand to show people my skills and abilities, and not just being on the telephone, doing a skit or something like that. This is how it was back then.
Yes.
You had to go show what you can do, and you did that, and somebody that was already at a certain level, running the club, they might see, funny.
Oh, yeah.
Blah. And then you start to meet more and more comedians, and that's how I put my work in, back then.
So now, go to the Marines, work for the sheriff's office, work for the juvenile department. At what point do you say to yourself, comedy's what I want to do, and you start taking that journey?
When I was tired of being tired at work, all day.
Okay.
When you doing shows, and I think this time I worked for Bon Air Juvenile Correctional also. I was a sergeant. And I'm getting back, man, like 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm a supervisor, so I got to be there before a briefing starts. I got to get to work like 5:30. You got to make sure that your schedule's right. You got enough staffers to work certain parts, and checking on your part-timers, who's coming to work to help out for the shift. You might got a medical run, doctor run for someone. You got to have staff, So all of that stuff going on, and correctional work, you working 12-hour shifts. So I was starting to get tired. In a nutshell, I was getting tired. I was just tired. And if folks who work at Bon Air, when you go through the kitchen, it's a hallway. End of the hallway is a door that's like, go outside. And I was standing at that door. This went on for months. Like, what are you gonna do?
Okay.
like, what are you gonna do? This was around. I left that in December 2005.
Okay.
When I left that, and but prior to that, like for months, I'm like, it's in the hallway in the door, like, bruh, like talking to God. To be honest, well, I can't keep going. I'm tired. I am tired. I want to go live my dream, my passion. Yeah. And in December, I think the first week of December, I made a decision, and just said I was going to, put in my 2-week notice, and in the end of the month, that's when I left.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but you'd already had been start doing comedy and start making connections.
Yeah.
So you didn't wait to just, I'm tired of this. This is what I want to go do. You'd already start putting in the work, putting in the groundwork.
Yeah.
Definitely. And that's important because, I'm hoping from any of the conversations that I have with any of my guests, they get informed, inspired, and we entertain them in some kind of way.
Right.
But if somebody's looking to really get up and get into comedy, I want to ensure they understand they have the tools to not only take it seriously, but understand exactly what they're getting themselves into. Now, these next two questions are something I've been wondering about for years.
Mm-hmm.
First and foremost, what was it like to win season 5 of Bill Bellamy, Who Got Jokes?
Well, I didn't win the season. I won my show.
Okay.
I was on because they went to different cities.
Yes.
And did the show. I
Okay.
won my show, which we taped up in D.C.
Nice.
At the Lincoln Theater.
Mm-hmm.
So I won my show, and then from my show, we went to Germany to tape the next show.
Okay.
And that's when I lost because my boy Sean Larkins won that show. And then there was another show, and I think he competed against, I want to say Laugh Love, I want to say it was.
Okay.
And I think Laugh Love won that season, if I'm correct.
Okay.
But yeah, I won my show in D.C. Yeah.
Now, after that happened, did you have any expectations of what was going to happen next or what would happen next or
I mean, when you win, you thinking you finna be Eddie Murphy.
Okay.
You think, well, I'm finna be Chris Rock right here, man. What? Give my go.
Okay.
Give me some water.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So
Yes.
but it was a good feeling. I can recall that show to this day.
Mm-hmm.
I just felt good.
Okay.
I felt good, and Rodney Perry, we still be tripping, because folks don't know I'm an introvert.
Okay.
I'm really quiet. Really.
Mm-hmm.
And most people can't understand because some people just think comedians supposed to be like
Like constantly, yeah, absolutely constantly.
Thinking comedians, they don't know or understand that some comedians are just reserved people.
Yeah.
We just chilling. So when you going somewhere, like, man, what wrong with you? Ain't nothing wrong with me. I'm just
I can't tell jokes 24/7.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just how some people are. I'm that way. So I'm reserved, man.
Well, I remember, like, as much as I love Robin Williams, one of the things I used to always question, because I like hearing interviews where people talk to get insight, to learn, and then to understand about their journeys, he could never sit still. And I used to always wonder why he could never sit still. You know,
You need to go back and read more Robin Williams.
yeah, but it's making sense, because the only time that he was constantly still was the Charlie Rose Goodwill Hunting interview. He still entertained a little bit, but he gave you more insight then than ever. But any other interview that he would have, it was it was like he may answer a question, but he'll go into a bit constantly. And I always was wondering why that was. But
sometimes some comedians just always like on.
Okay.
Like they're just on. And just everything got to be a bit or a joke or something. And long as, he's been doing it, he was doing it way back. I used to hear the stories where it was him and John Witherspoon and and what's the guy?
We used to work with Richard Pryor.
Way back in the day.
Oh,
And Jimmy Walker.
Yeah, J.J. Watt. Like J.J. Watt was a big deal.
Yeah, back in them.
Yeah, because I think David Letterman and Jay Leno used to write for him.
Yeah, and you hear the stories with them guys back then. It was something. It was a lot of some of everything.
Yeah,
them guys went through a lot.
They did. They have stories for days.
Yeah.
Now, tell us about the birth of Look at You. How did that come to be?
I was at the barbershop today. And I was in a chair, kind of had my head down, whatever. And everybody tapping on some of the guys at the window.
Yeah.
Okay. So, but what it came from, a lady, I don't want to say lady, but a promoter or a female, I was doing a show for, wanted me to do a video. And just kind of promote the show. I'm like, all right. I had my Facebook page. Instagram wasn't even around then. Neither was Vine or none of that stuff was even around. I'm telling my age now. Instagram. Instagram wasn't around.
Instagram.
What's
the Vine?
Who is this old guy?
Do you do it for the Vine? Do you climb the Vine? What do you do?
So this is on Facebook. And I did a couple of things. Nothing to of that nature of Look At You, but I was like, all right, y'all, what's up, man? It's boy Antoine Scott, y'all. Come to the show, this date, come on, go to the show, blah, blah, blah. Man, if you don't come to the show, man, I'm gonna look at you, man. If you don't come to the show, I'm gonna look at you. Posted the video. And I came back, I can recall, and I never had this many views. Yeah, it's still not a lot, but back then it was a lot. It had like 1,500 some views.
I'll take it.
Right, on that. And I'm like, what? So I'm reading the comments. If I don't come to the show, you gonna look at me. You gonna look at me. Boy, boy, you crazy. And I can recall sitting at home. I'm going back. That dumb?
That worked?
What?
You like that? That's what you heard that's what you heard me say.
What? Look. So and I think I mentioned it again in a couple of other things. And then a couple of my comedian friends were calling, Twan, hey boy, you own something that look at you think. I'm like, I was still like, man, that is dumb.
Yeah.
That is dumb. Because, as a comedian, you trying to be, sometimes, so clever.
Yes.
And witty with your material and whatever you're doing. You're trying to be this and this, and I'm going to look at you. Boy, you're crazy. So I started experimenting with different things will look at you. At one point, I was wearing like a bunch of hats on my head.
Okay.
Looking crazy. One time I had on a helmet. One time with a chin strap.
Okay.
Because you finding a way.
Yeah.
You're experimenting with stuff, and I could going through that, and I think I wore a bonnet a couple times.
Okay, all right.
I'm fine. Hey, look at you finding this way. I'm trying to find it, and I kept going, and it wasn't until I started doing what everybody's doing now, talking about a picture or a video.
Definitely.
Because I was doing this way back when, way back.
Oh yeah.
And it was a male, and he had on like a jumpsuit, a jean set something jumpsuit.
Okay.
And I was like, man, I'm gonna sit there and I'm gonna look at you, man, over there looking like an uncle niece. And when I said that, and when I said that video I did, it took off.
I don't know what this says about me. My favorite Look At You video, and I got it saved on Instagram. So the guy has on an animated costume, call it a wolf or a dog, and with the dog, the tail's in the back. Turn around.
I think I remember that.
You like, you done got fired on your first day. Oh my God. When I saw that joke, I was like, anytime I had a day I needed to laugh, I went back and I was like, oh my God. Because he's still looking like, what have I done? Why have you forsaken me? It's like, oh my God. Oh my God, that was hilarious.
Yeah, man.
I remember seeing you perform one time, and you talked about how I think the discovery of Look At You, through merch and through the videos, had been a big blessing for you.
Right.
How so?
I mean, because everybody it started catching on. It was hot.
Okay.
I was at one point in time. It was like I had my hot album was out. You know what I mean?
Right,
my hot single was out. But I was hot in these streets. I was hot in these streets, and I was traveling with my T-shirts, and I had the website up. Folks buying merch. Everybody sending me. They buying their T-shirt and they putting them on. Yeah. And they posting them on their pages. They're putting them in my message box, and I'm putting them up. Everybody's buying merch. I'm talking white, black, kids.
Absolutely.
The whole nine. Boy, I was hot, man. That album was hot. Boy, I was hot. God Almighty, I was hot. Hey, one more time, I was hot.
Man, so now we have arrived at your first comedy special, Antoine Scott, Same Thing I Said. How did this special come about?
That's all thanking to one individual, Stephanie Riley.
Okay.
She is a great person. She is the one that's behind the whole ordeal. She's the one. A big thank you to her. She saw me performing with Joe Claire in Bethesda Supper Club, Jazz and Supper Club, up in Bethesda, Maryland. And after the show, and I tell folks, younger comedians sometimes, that all it takes is one person.
Yes.
To see you. You know, somebody just like what you do.
Mm-hmm.
There was other well-known comedians on the show, but she saw me and after the show, she was like, "Oh my God, you're so funny!
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, you're so funny! Boy, you funny! Oh my goodness, you funny! Man, we're gonna do something one day. You can do something. And once you've been in the game, you know you've
heard that.
You're
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
okay,
Mm-hmm.
all right,
Mm-hmm.
we're gonna do something.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
just call me when you're ready.
yeah, okay, all right. So and then it wasn't till that point, and I did a couple of things for her,
Mm-hmm.
but you know, fast forward 8 years later,
Mm-hmm.
and then that's when we shot the comedy special.
And you said it's Stephanie Riley because she's
Stephanie
also
Riley.
She's also the executive producer
Yes.
of the special. So right now we're going to take a look at a clip from Antoine Scott. Same thing I said.
Hot is hot. Forward march. Chole, 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 right. Chole, 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 right. It started getting good to me though. Chole, 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 chole. Scott, stop playing. I can't help it till it's shut down.
Now, for that clip, like, you know, I was in ROTC and I marched. We ain't marched like that. When I saw that, I was howling. I was howling because I was like, because for me, see, you know, when you march, your partner can march for days. I can march. It's like those it's like the McRib. It's for a limited time only. Okay, so you know, but the way you they were trying, how is it that you can just take different things, you know, that you see observed? Because I'm pretty sure you pull from Pain, you pull from Happy Time, you pull from Observed, you pull from someone wearing a messed up outfit,
Right.
and make them funny. Like, what would you say is your process?
She's just being honest.
Okay.
Yeah. Right before I got here, I was talking to a comedian on the phone, my boy Angus Black.
Mm-hmm.
We were just talking about him, you know, putting your truth on stage.
Yes.
If you putting your truth in, because other folks going through the same thing,
Mm-hmm.
and just being honest. You take a look, some of the honesty, you sprinkle a little, you know, you just make it a little bigger.
Yes.
You know, or what something is,
Mm-hmm.
and just make it fun.
Mm-hmm.
The funniest you are is just how honest you're gonna be
Okay.
on stage.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody got fabricated stories. You can make up something, but if you pull from your personal life or whatever, that's something that another comedian or somebody really can't take.
Definitely.
Can't take your material. You know, everybody has jokes about everybody have jokes about like smoking marijuana.
Yes.
Everybody got jokes about that.
Mm-hmm.
But how can you put your stamp on it?
Definitely.
How can you make your joke, you know, outdo Ron's joke
Mm-hmm.
or somebody else's joke?
Mm-hmm.
And that's just, to me, an ongoing thing in comedy.
Mm-hmm.
When you talk about something that you want to talk about and, oh, man, such do a joke like that. Well, I want to tell
Yeah, I want
the
to my
first
version.
time that I smoked the joint.
Okay.
Okay?
Is that all right with you?
Right. And you got some people higher up, you know, producers are higher up in the game, or these comedy so-called gods,
Yes.
what they want to say. And so I said, man, they talk about that. Okay, I want
Yeah.
to talk about when I did it,
Definitely.
what I went through and what happened to me and what happened after I did it. I want to tell my story about it. Yeah, it's been talked about before, but let me tell my story.
Now, I got to apologize to you because when I said, it's comedy special. What's it called? When you said the same thing I said, I was like, I got Steve Harvey judgmental. Look at Twan gonna call it same thing I said. What the hell he doing wrong with his damn man? You couldn't come up with nothing else. You could have called me. I could have wrote something for you. And then I saw the special.
Right.
And then somebody was like, what they say? Same thing I said. I was like, I get it. And I was like, it was perfect because the theme of it was perfect. You know, and it's so good, we're going to have to show another clip. Now, ladies and gentlemen, here is another clip from Antoine Scott. Same thing I said.
I was the honor grad coming out of Marine Corps boot camp, hard charging, motivating devil dog. By the time it's time to go home, I want to trial this training. I wanted to whoop somebody's ass. Huh? Come on now, 3 months of training, I wanted to whoop somebody's ass. Come on, 3 months of push-ups and sit-ups. Oh, come on with it. I go to a club back in VA, back in Richmond, called Ivory's. Same thing I said. We get in the club. My friends got me. They ain't taking me out for the club. I'm like, yeah, we having a good time. Ah! This is my dance move. Don't hate. One dude bumped into me. I said, yo, man, watch where you walking. He was the same size I was. He said, my bag. I said, ooh, he ain't ready. I kept going on with the whole night, wishing and praying somebody bump into me the wrong way so I can try this training out. And it won't till the end of the night. Dude about 6'6". Woo! He bumped into me. I said, yo, man, watch where you walking. He said, shut your little ass up. Woo! Thank you, Lord, for presentation has been presented. I said, what you said? He said, shut your little ass up. I'm gonna tell y'all right now, Cornelius, I got back and when I woke up. He hit me so hard. I said, this wasn't in the manual what you did. And your friends don't let you live that down neither. Twan, he knocked your ass out last night. I said, he ain't fight me right. He probably said, block one.
Okay, so you now are gonna test out this training.
I tried my hand at it. Come on now.
I mean, because listen, I respect all branches of the military, but it is said that the Marines are the baddest.
That's right.
You know, and it's like, because it's almost like as a Marine, you feel like you need some backup. You know, back up some bats or some, some weapons or whatever, because it might not be enough. But you're going to test. Look, we're not going to give it away here, because you're going to have to go to Fawesome TV to see it for yourself.
See it for yourself.
So if you want to see what happens when Antoine Scott test out this training.
Block 1, block 2, come on
then
with it.
you going to need to go to Fawesome TV. You put it on there. They got the internet. Okay, you go online.
Go and get it.
Or you get the app on your phone. You got a smartphone?
App on your phone.
They got an app store. Fawesome TV.
Roku TV. Go and get it on there.
And now available on Antoine Scott's Instagram. If you click on the link now, you don't go to the cover. You go to the special.
Thanks to you.
You go to the special. You go right to the special where you can't say, Twan, I can't find the special where you ain't looking hard enough. We made it easy for you. You ain't got to do nothing. Like Bernie Mac said, I was thinking about Bernie Mac. He said, Ron, you got to help Antoine because they need to do nothing. They need to go right there. So, listen, definitely check out the special. I'm not just sitting here talking about it. We can talk about some other stuff. But Fawesome TV, Antoine Scott, same thing as I've said. But then not only that, let him know what you think. Like put your comment, Antoine Scott, tell them where they can find you, Antoine Scott, like where they can find your social media.
They can find my social media, man. They can find it real easy, real greasy. You can go on to The Antoine Scott.
Yes.
The Antoine Scott on Instagram. The Antoine Scott, TheAntoinescott. Come on with it now.
There we go.
You can go to Antoine Scott on Facebook. Come on now. You also can go to comedian Antoine Scott on YouTube. I'm talking to you. Come on now, talk to your boy.
That's right. And let them know what you think about the special, because good comedy is good comedy, and to hold a crowd, to make them laugh, it ain't easy. Everybody can't do it. And maybe it's for you, maybe it's not for you. But the only way you're going to find out is if you check it out. Because my thing is this, just like movies a lot of times, for me as an actor, Denzel Washington said something I didn't understand about. He said, what do you want people to get from your movie? He says, depends on what they bring to it. I didn't know what that means. I know what it means now. A lot of times, listen, I know we're busy, we're in our phones, but a lot of times find out for yourself. Don't rely on what they say. Because I can tell you right now, of all the comedians, there's certain ones that get me every single time. There is a comedian who did play me left, who I still do listen to. I'm not gonna give him the shine. I'm not, but he's still funny. He's using jokes from '83, but they still funny. They still funny, you know.
Right.
And everybody has a story of his. I tell you off air about it. But excellent job on the special. Like I said, congratulations on the special.
Thank you.
Again, Fawesome TV, Antoine Scott, same thing as I said. Now, one of the things that I do want to find out from you is like dealing with promoters. Have you always had great experiences? Has it been a learning curve? Like, have you had to kind of adjust over the years? Because I know being on the road as much as you are, you're probably dealing with a whole cast of different people. So what is that experience like dealing with promoters?
It's all in what you that you want to deal with and to what level you want to deal with it on.
Okay.
You got some that you dealt with before. You already know what kind of game they coming with. Well, as soon as you see that name up on your phone, like, oh Lord,
Yeah.
he want to do me for $75 and some wings. You know what I mean? So they pretty much the same. And then now a lot of them just want you promote the show, which I don't mind promoting.
Yeah.
But sometimes they have to understand we are not the promoters.
Correct.
For the show. Now I'm posting the show and putting it on that page, the flyer, or maybe even doing a video. It's cool, but I'm not the promoter.
Definitely.
You know, that's the thing. A lot of comedians be having to break down. And you might have a show with a promoter. The show might be in August. It's like February. Hey, man, post the flyer.
Yeah.
Bro, I got like 32 more shows.
Before we get to that one.
Before I get to you. Because if they see you promoting a show, they say I'm doing Valentine's Day weekend. It's in 2 days.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna promote this. I'm gonna flyer might go up. I'm helping out. I'm gonna help out.
No, definitely.
Now and flyer, but then they see you post that joint 2 times. Man, you can't post a flyer about that. Dude, your show's in August.
Okay.
This show coming up in a couple days. I'm saying, no, you can't put my...
You need to really understand. I do understand wanting to promote things early, but they also have to understand what you do going through too, and they also need to make sure that it's their job to get the word out there as much as possible.
Right.
So okay. Now I won't. Now when you found out where your special was going to be shot, surprise. Were you surprised by it, or just like, all right, here we go?
Nah.
Okay.
Stephanie had filmed the place.
Okay.
The place was beautiful.
Nice.
I mean, it's in a nice part of Cornelius, North Carolina, which I've never been to.
Okay.
It's nice, and I'm saying the theater was nice. It really was. She found a gym, so you just take that and promote it, and let the people come and do what you do.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Had a really good turnout. Really good turnout. Knowing that this was your first special, what was your approach? Because you really gave something that I had never seen before. I've seen you perform plenty of times, and it was. I was like, wow, I didn't see that coming. It was more insight into you, who you are, your journey, all that stuff. When did you decide that you were going to make this kind of a different show than what people had seen before?
Well, I mean, you just said it all. So if people watch it, and if they're first time seeing me, they know who Antoine Scott is.
Absolutely.
And that's what I wanted my first comedy special to be about. Because in comedy, they always say, well, who are you?
Yes.
Instead of going on stage and, doing joke. But sometimes they want to know, like, who are you? Like, what can we learn about you? Like,
yes.
What kind of person are you? So I just wanted to have some snippets to growing up with, the grandmother, and then what I did after the military, and, stuff like that. And so for people to see who I am as a person, and just make it funny.
Now, what would your ideal situation be? Partnership, deal? Let me give you an example. I use this all for all my guests. Everybody know my ideal situation right now would be to meet with a cable network to put one of my 4 television shows on like a HBO or Showtime or Hulu or Netflix.
Right.
That's my ideal situation because as much as I love acting, right now employing people, telling stories over several seasons is what I really want to do.
Right.
What would your ideal situation if you could have any deal situation or partnership with anyone to work with? What would you want to do?
I just want to tell jokes, man.
Okay.
I just want to tell jokes.
Okay.
I can be on CW. I don't even care. For
Okay.
me, it's my boy Monique.
Mm-hmm.
That's out in L.A. said something. He was talking about everybody wants to be a star,
Okay.
right? But you can carve out a nice career. You can have a nice career.
Absolutely.
Right. So if the stardom was to come, I wouldn't say I'm gonna turn it down.
Mm-hmm.
But if my phone keeps ringing, I can go do comedy clubs and promoter, picks me up and, hey man, you gonna be on tour dates with X, Y, and Z, EFG. Okay, bet. We're gonna do 22 dates in the fall.
Yes.
We're gonna do 25 dates in the spring.
Mm-hmm.
And comedy clubs got me on the calendar across the country between the Improvs and Funny Bones and any other kind of comedy club across the country.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Well, you know me, I don't write too much comedy because I was always afraid of it until I started understanding that the comedy was in the truth of the situation. And once I realized that, I started learning differently. So what I'm saying is, if I ever got a situation with NBC or ABC and I did a comedy show that I wasn't going to be in, I put you in it with Morris Day as your father, Gary Owen as your best friend, and Elise Neal as your best friend, and maybe I'll get together season 3 or season 4. I don't know. But, that's all I'm going to say about it because, so if we see that combination going on, you know where it came from.
Where you get Morris Day from? That's funny.
Man,
that is hilarious.
Can you imagine Morris Day being your dad? Like, he's all trusted. He's the king of cool. You looking at him
Yeah.
like, I don't know about the outfit. He's looking at you like, and then he come home with this woman and you like, I guess I was wrong.
He would have on constantly fly pajamas every day.
Because when you think about how cool that man is, like for example, like Prince. I remember Prince, somebody said something to him. He wanted to get up and walk off the View. And I was like, that's a bad walk. That man's bad,
Right.
And I was looking at that Morris Day, and I'm just like, I'm not going to do my Morris Day impression, but I mean, just that cool. And I'm like, that dynamic there, because I'm not going to get the premise of what will happen, but it would be interesting. I think it'll be interesting. And of course, I definitely think you can make it, 400 episodes. So I do. And just to let you know, dealing with hecklers, I have seen you deal with some hecklers, and I was sitting here like, you know what? If he takes that microphone and launch it, I'm with him. And you didn't. Dealing with hecklers, which normally you don't really have those at your show too much, unless let's say you did something like on New Year's and people got drunk, and they kept screaming your name, and which means they really, really, really liked you, because it was a woman. But anyway, like, how do you deal with hecklers?
I mean, you just deal with it when when they come across. You always got to have something fly to say right back. To shut them up, shut them down.
Definitely.
And a couple of things. I'm more of I like entertaining the people.
Yes.
I don't really go into the crowd work a whole lot. And I have asked questions before, on stage, or somebody in front of you either doing something crazy or might have on something just crazy that need to be spoken about.
Okay.
So don't get me wrong on that, but for me, the majority of the time, I just rather go up there and just perform, with the stuff I have and just how the people rocking.
This is an off-the-cuff question I have to ask. My estimation of you is someone of integrity, character, strong work ethic. In my travels, I've had times where I felt like I might have to go, I hate to say it, but I got to quote Bum B, Mighty Joe Young upside a whole head, and a whole not being a woman. Of anything I can think about, I thought about that. But, and then I realized I was around the wrong people. You being someone of character and integrity, have you ever gotten frustrated or just feel like, because being sometimes too nice or whatever have you, or did you find that, I just got to move away from these certain people?
No, I kind of move by myself anyway.
Okay.
So I told him I'm an introvert. So I mean, I do hang around folks, but once we get done, I'm sliding on off. So I'm finna go watch Forensic Files.
Okay.
Somewhere and chill out.
Okay.
So.
All right, so okay, that'll be that. Okay, didn't see that one coming. That's all right. Okay, nice.
Yeah.
What are some of your professional and personal pet peeves?
Exactly that. Be professional.
Okay.
You know, everybody do their own thing.
Yes.
What they want to do.
Mm-hmm.
For me, the Marine Corps standards is pretty much like you leave something better than when you got it.
Mm-hmm.
So if I'm in the green room, I make sure the green room is almost the same when I leave out the green room.
Yes.
You know, it don't take much for you to do something.
Yeah.
Not even intentionally. And someone like, he can't come back to the club.
Yeah.
Or except until you make it to that level.
Yeah.
You make that level, you can go in the green room and do anything you want. And then they ain't gonna send them because you done packed out
Definitely.
7 shows.
Yeah, but why do that if you don't?
Yeah, but still, if you packing out 7 shows and you just feel like you just go in there and do what you want to do. That ain't me.
Another thing I have to thank you for. So you may not remember this. I remember when we did I Deserve Better Virginia State. You would have thought Lil Wayne was in the building. That thing was packed.
Yes, it was.
And I wrote it for high school to college kids, and the way they took at it on that Wednesday afternoon was amazing. But in rehearsal one time, I had taken a lot off of different people and kept my peace because I love to be professional. And somebody said something to me, and I was about to go. And you was like, hey, let's stop here. Let's get focused back on point. If you hadn't done that, I was going to go off.
Was it a rehearsal?
Huh? Yeah.
Rehearsal?
It was a rehearsal day before the show. And I was, because to me, I'm all about being professional. I'm all about putting together. I'm all about dealing with certain stuff, about getting the show done.
Right.
Because I'm really, like, a lot of times, hopefully, on my sets, you've had a good time or you relax. Because I'm about my mission and my men and women, getting the job done, make sure I have a good experience and not take up too much of your time.
Right.
And it was a situation where I just had enough.
Had enough.
And had you not said something, you would have heard what was on my mind.
Right.
And I don't know how it came out. So I do appreciate that. I don't know if you remember that or not, but I do appreciate that. Tell me, how has becoming a father changed your life?
Becoming a father has changed my life. You just gotta be more responsible. It ain't
Okay.
you anymore. You
Okay.
gotta take care of somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody like ain't cheap. I'll tell you that. I mean, this is way back when. I don't know how much it costs now. I heard it costs you. Your credit score got to at least be a 516.
You got to qualify to make a purchase.
Oh man.
Who is on your Mount Rushmore of comedians? I'll give you 5.
Mount Rushmore. Robin Harris.
Ooh.
Robin Harris. Of course, Bernie Mac. Marsha Warfield.
Okay.
Who else?
We got 3.
That's 3.
Yeah.
I don't have a lot to really put on that
That's cool.
Mount Rushmore because everybody has their own, own style.
Yes.
Own way of delivering the way they tell their jokes. Can't think of anybody else right now.
No, that's cool. Like I said, it's your like I said, it's your list.
Yeah.
You have generously been a mentor and has been there for younger comedians. Why?
You just spreading out any information that you can give because I came into the game. I came in the game raw. I ain't had no comedy class, no comedy workshop, no comedy school. I'm just watching, sit on TV, and I don't know how to correctly write a joke or, back then, and I didn't know none of that stuff. So I'm just like straight raw, just going on stage, just, just being funny.
Yes.
And then, so any kind of information that I've learned over the years, I want to pass it down to, other comedians.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because you can tell somebody to try this and try that, but it might not work for them in that way.
Definitely.
You can just give them the information and you can translate it and do with it as you please. But because like I said, every path is different.
Yeah.
Every journey is different. So, but if I can help you in any kind of way, I can enlighten you on something. but you take the information and apply it to where it needs to be.
Mm-hmm. Is your writing process for coming up with what you're going to say when you're performing the same, or does it change? Because for me, when I write, sometimes I wrote the end first, then the middle, then the beginning, and so it all depends on where my inspiration comes from. So does your process stay the same each time, or does it vary?
It could change because now I might just get a premise
Okay.
in my head and then just try to kind of write around it,
Mm-hmm.
or have something like the microphone.
Yeah.
And what comes with a microphone? People talk on it.
Mm-hmm.
Breath. The padding.
Yes.
The wiring.
Okay.
So you're looking at all these different aspects that deal with the microphone.
Mm-hmm.
Then you start taking it and putting it into joke form.
Yeah. One of the things you messed me up with one time was you went on it was a good probably 12 minutes on did like stuff get to your lifestyle. Isn't there?
That song.
Man, I was sitting there like when I listened to that song. Now I'm sitting there work time with some. Right, what you doing? Yeah, you don't really know. You weren't there. So like just that right there, So it still cracks me up.
It's funny, but I ain't do that. I'm just talking about a song that was.
I'm with you, but you came out to it. You did it one. I've only seen you do it one time. It was one time only.
Right.
You came out, and that was the opening bit for what you did. I just was like, man, I was like, God, that was funny. So
That's just going back to some of the stuff we were talking about earlier.
Mm-hmm.
When a hot topic or a song like
that. Oh yeah.
And you just take it and it's nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing.
Yes.
I'm inventing.
Yes.
It's just a song that was crazy. It's just me and 217 other comedians, doing the same thing because you could understand what he was saying.
Oh no, absolutely.
But it's all about the way I did it versus the way she did it when she came out, or the way that he did it when he said something about the song. Everybody has their own version of maybe doing something with that song. Yeah. It's just sometimes the so-called comedy gods, everybody's doing something to that song. You don't have to do that. I don't want to make fun of the song, man. They make fun of the song.
The biggest question was it funny?
God,
that's the most important thing. Like, was it funny?
If you haven't told that irks me, man. When people just don't allow comedians or us to put our different spin or perspective on something, and because it's talked about, but I want to talk about it.
Yeah,
I want to talk about it.
Absolutely.
Let me have this little moment. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And long as mine is not long as mine is not exactly like then you stealing. Then you stealing.
Yeah.
But I want to put my little spin on it because I like it. I want to talk about it.
No, 100%.
Yeah.
Now, what would you say? What's the best part about being a comedian? You would say.
Meeting different people. The traveling. The being getting on stage. And you don't know how getting on stage how it's gonna be, and that's kind of a thrill for me.
Okay.
Because, like I mentioned earlier, every crowd is different. You could have this set on a few jokes that you said on this side right here, and people smacking each other on the back, and you running all across the room, boy, crazy.
Yeah.
You can go right over here, and they.
But that's another thing I want because you perform at churches, because you have, how have you been able to adapt it to different audiences? Because I said you've hosted church shows, you've done church shows, you've done other shows where there was more adult content. So you have a variety, which is a talent itself. But how have you been able to navigate that?
Because when I started doing comedy, I want to do comedy for everybody.
Okay.
I want to do comedy for everybody. I want to do comedy at a church. Yes. I want to do comedy at a comedy club. I want to go do comedy if I'm hosting a fundraiser. I want to do comedy if you had me at your repast.
Okay.
I want to do comedy. I want to do comedy everywhere for everybody. I never want to just say I want to do this style of comedy.
Yes.
And when folks call me to do come at a church. You know, I'm looking for Antoine. I'm looking for this Christian comedian. I said, man, I'm not a Christian comedian. I'm a comedian that's able to do jokes and do comedy at a church.
Absolutely.
So I don't take that claim I'm a Christian comedian.
Okay.
But or whatever. But I just feel for me, I only can speak for me. I wanted to do comedy for everybody.
Okay.
Now, because some folks might hear me say this and be like, well, you can't be over here in this club, almost like when the church folk get mad when you start singing the other kind of music.
Yeah.
You know, you start saying, girl, get me in the bedroom, and I want you to lick me in the right place. And then you might come over to the church and be like, I want to thank the Lord for coming up.
Okay.
Thank the Lord. He shouldn't even be over here. I heard him last week down at the club, all in out. First of all, what was you doing in there?
Exactly.
What was you doing in there to hear me sing that song?
You know.
So it's that. I love doing comedy for everybody, whether it's a church, whether it's a comedy club, and I get loose with a couple of words. I still know who the Lord is.
Absolutely.
And I still won't come to your church, gonna have a good old time for past anniversary.
I love that. How do you measure success in your career and success in your life?
I'm winning.
Okay.
Because I woke up this morning.
Okay.
So you gotta understand, once you look back on what you've done, you know, because early on you'd be like, man, I ain't do this, man, and I want to get on that, man. But then once you look back and see who the people you know and who you've met,
Yes.
and just the things you've done, and then other people haven't did some of the stuff you did, and been on some of the stuff you've been on.
Yes.
Work with some of the people whom you work with. I got a lot of guys, I'm sitting at home watching TV shows or a movie. I know that's such and such. Man, hey, boy, you know that show? Yeah, that's what I'm on. I picked up my phone and called this person who I just seen. TV commercials.
Yes.
Stuff like that. Man, boy, when you get that, and call them on the phone.
Yes.
And realize, like, boy, I know this person. I know her.
Yes.
Or I know this. And like my friend Griff, that's on the morning show. Erica, oh my goodness.
Erica Campbell.
Erica Campbell. In the morning. We was just chit-chatting. He said, man, I said, oh, no, man. The day my mom's birthday, blah, blah, blah. Man, he's all right. Tell her listen to 749.
I heard that.
Yeah.
I heard that. That was dope.
Yeah.
That was dope.
And they just me and him just holding conversation. He asked me, well, how you been? What you up to? Blah, blah, blah. I said, man, I ain't doing nothing, man. You know, still doing my thing, blah, blah, blah. You know, just saying, yeah, today mom's birthday and blah, blah, blah. Like that. Oh, really? And he gave us some love on the radio.
I have to, so he watched a film I called When We Pray on Them. And we have a mutual friend. And I didn't know this. I went back and looked on YouTube. He had put a comment there, you know, he wanted to work together. It never got back to me.
Right.
So I think the time passed. And I called the friend and I was like, why didn't you tell me that? Oh, I forgot. But if you talk to him, just tell him thank you so much for watching the film for me. I really appreciate it, Mark.
Yeah, Griff a cool guy, but just going back to what I'm saying, like, he did that because I know him.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You know, I know him. It wasn't nothing that he just did it out of the kindness of his heart. But I know him. Who else? Can anybody you roll up on and be like, hey, man, mention that and see if we can put it on the radio.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, it would be tough. Be a little bit tough.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
So, and I know, like, nephew Tommy, I know I can text Tommy and be like, hey, man, what's going on? And you look at that, you be like, man, I'm good. I'm good. And then the more you're in this game of comedian, you know and understand how the business go.
Understood. See, another reason I do this show is to learn from successful people, because for me, to make it short and sweet, I haven't gotten to where I want to get. The only thing that I can do to explain that, it's going to be strong. I feel like the equivalent of Kobe Bryant trying out for the NBA every year, and they're like, no, you're not good enough, you can't go. Like, I think that would drive him. And Mark Cuban one time said, if you're an entrepreneur and it's not working, it should drive you crazy. And it does. You know, but I've had to find a way to deal with it, because I've done certain things.
Right.
But I haven't did what the bar that I set for myself. And I've had to learn how to deal with that, because it's taken me to some dark places. And even doing this podcast is to celebrate someone who's been able to figure it out, to live your dream. Because for me right now, I have to live with what I've done and be happy with that. Mm-hmm. And now I'm good with that. But I so want to salute and celebrate you for being able to do what you want to do, because I think it's fantastic.
I sure appreciate it again. P.
Appreciate it. Now, so also, I want to make sure that when we post this on YouTube TV, where you can see the visual exclusively, I'm going to have the link where you can click on the comedy special. Same link that you can click on Antoine's Instagram, and then also on all the other platforms that you'll have, the Spotify's and the Apple Musics and the Odysseys. I'll have the link there as well. So now wherever you go, when you see this interview, you click on it, you can go to Fawesome TV and watch Antoine Scott, same as I said. If you'll tell the people anything you want to say about the special, please, sir.
Go watch it, man. It's funny, hilarious. You want to know something more about me? Mm-hmm. Go on and watch that special. Get your laugh on. Ain't but 37 minutes. Mm-hmm. Okay. We cut it back. I did over an hour for that show. Mm-hmm. We cut it back to 37. Mm-hmm. And won't take you long. You're going to laugh. You know what I mean? Have a good time. You're going to enjoy it, learn some things. Hey, it's going to be a good time. I'm telling you. Same thing I want
them to release the bonus footage. I want to see that bonus footage. What you holding out on? We talk about that.
A couple of wild things I said in there, too, they cut out. Yeah.
They cut out. So now we're going to begin our last word segment with a questionnaire created by Bernard Pivot, made famous by the late, great James Lipton on Inside the Actors Studio. May he rest in peace. Mm-hmm. Antoine, what is your favorite word?
Bible.
What is your...
you didn't catch that one, but go ahead.
Okay, we'll get to it. Now, what is your least favorite word?
Can't.
What turns you on?
Life.
What turns you off?
Negativity.
What sound or noise do you love?
Sound of noise do I love? Mm-hmm. They're counting the money.
That's a great sound. What sound or noise do you hate?
Baby crying. Baby crying.
What's your favorite curse word? You can say the F word if you want to. You don't have to curse if you don't want to. Whichever, your choice.
Probably like damn.
Damn. Okay. What profession other than yours would you like to attempt?
Being a DJ.
Okay. What profession other than yours would you not like to attempt?
Cleaning out septic tanks. Some porta potties. I don't want to do that.
I do understand that.
I'd be damned.
That's special work.
That's special work.
That's special work.
I praise him. You got to go there. You got a whole lineup of a big music festival, and you got 29 porta potties. And it said Antoine. You
got 17 through 18.
Yeah.
We salute you for those who do that because it's a notable profession. But
yes, I ain't knocking your job.
We're not knocking your job.
I'm just saying I can't do it.
I do understand. If heaven exists, what would you like to hear God say when you arrive at the pearly gates?
What up, boy?
So, once again, Antoine Scott, same thing I said, is now streaming on Fawesome TV. Mr. Scott, I'm now going to give you the final words. You have 30 seconds. That's your camera. Say whatever you want to say to the audience.
What's up, y'all? It's your boy right here, comedian Antoine Scott. Go check out my comedy special called Same Thing I Said on Fawesome TV. It's also coming in Tubi and Prime Video. Go and check out your boy and have a good time. Follow me on all my social media platforms. Instagram, The Antoine Scott, comedian Antoine Scott on YouTube, and Antoine Scott on Facebook. Always remember, live your life and live your dreams. Don't never stop the hustle. It's always a grind. Remember one thing, y'all. It's a marathon, not a sprint. I'm here to tell you, man, I'm going to sit here and I'm going to look at you, because when you wake up, Lord have mercy, it's another day to be great. I'm telling you, live your life one foot in front of the other. Love your family and your friends. Pick up the telephone and call your loved one and say, hey, I miss you. I want to see you, because love is in the building. Now what? Boy, I'm going to sit here and look at you. Come on with it now. Talk to me. Ha-ha. Something special, ain't it? Yeah. Right. Oh, yeah. That's what I do, because I love you. Hi, Antoine. Wash my glasses. Now stop. Talk to me.
Right. We can cut. We got enough. We can cut. Man, thank you so much for Thank you so much for listening to Inside the Passion of the Professional. If you enjoyed the conversation you just heard, we invite you to click the subscribe button to be alerted when new episodes are available. Thank you to tonight's guest. Inside the Passion of the Professional is a Ron Winston Entertainment production. Your host and executive producer is Ronald Dillard Jr. We thank you so much for listening, and until next time, take care of yourself and each other.